Breaking, Russia confirms that they are launching a BRICS currency backed by gold. It will be on the agenda at the BRICS South Africa meeting in August. Many other countries have applied to join BRICS. Let's hear what they say here.
The BRICS group is set to introduce a new currency backed by gold, in contrast to the credit-backed US dollar, with countries lining up to join the growing initiative.
The BRICS countries are planning to introduce a new trading currency which will be backed by gold. More and more countries recently expressed desire to join BRICS.
The decision comes a month ahead of scheduled Alliance Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. 41 countries have since shown their interest in BRICS membership and its new currency implementation. Russia's foreign ministry has stated that if African states show enthusiasm, the group's expansion may also be on a Russia-Africa summit's agenda in the end of July. As of now, the BRICS group remains comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Former statistician general of South Africa, Pali Lehola, says the gold-backed currency will facilitate the advancement of developing countries.
All right, so you have half of the second world and third world countries are trying to get on this. Now, here's the thing, you guys, and here's one more tweet on this. But what I like about Twitter is this community notes thing. So here's this Kim.com guy, this New Zealand hacker everybody knows. BRICS Plus will announce a new joint currency backed by gold at the August summit. It's the end of the US dollar backed by nothing, which is true, as global reserve currency. The end of endless US money printing on the backs of other nations and the inevitable US economic collapse under its enormous debt. Okay. So, like, let's be straight. Kim.com here, he's got a good point. It's true that the US dollar is backed by nothing, just IOUs. It used to be backed by gold in the 70s. We left that entirely. But honestly, you guys, for those of you who have, let me put it this way, for those of you who have traveled and backpacked or just traveled around the world, and I don't mean to like Paris or London, but I mean if you've gone to some rough places in Asia, in West Asia, like good example, Turkey. If you go to Turkey right now and their currency is the lira and you try to pay with a US dollar, they're going to say, hell yes. The US dollar is not going anywhere yet. Now, let's just say in the best case scenario for this BRICS gold-backed currency, if it really took off, that's BRICS. Brazil, R is Russia, I is India, C is China, S is South Africa. So that's BRICS here. Plus all the other countries that want to join. If this actually happens and they all started doing this, okay, then you have some real concern for what could happen. But honestly, I don't think that this is going to explode and destroy the dollar like this year or something. And even here, the context, it says, on July 5th, CFO of BRICS Bank confirmed there are no plans anytime soon for a BRIC currency. That doesn't mean they're not working on it. They could, but there's nothing to be gravely concerned about just yet. While there are some press reports that a BRIC currency announcement is imminent, most reports state that such currency is far from being reality, and that's pretty much maybe in a year or 2 or 3 years, very possible, but it's just not going to happen yet. But regardless, this wouldn't even be a conversation on the table had the United States and the global greed not gotten to be so immoral and unjust. Just like this. Now, like for example, I said a minute ago, if we hadn't left the gold-backed currency that we used to have, this wouldn't even be an issue. If we hadn't gone to Saudi Arabia and pledged the full force of our U.S. military in exchange for them only using the dollar for oil, called the petrodollar, this wouldn't even be a thing. But decades and decades and generations of corruption and self-serving has got us to this point. So unfortunately, here we are. But, we'll see how that pans out. So be patient, you guys.